everyone, welcome. I know this was supposed to be done on Monday, but it's Tuesday, but we're getting there. My dad dropped over for the weekend, and so he was only over for one night, 2 nights, and so he was dropping in to say goodbye on the Monday morning, which sort of threw me a little bit, but that's okay. We stop for family, don't we? Today we are going to be colouring, you know what, and I've left all my stamp sets over on my bench. I knew that something like that would happen. But we're going to be colouring in a blended seasons image. It's the leaves. Let me just grab them. Hang on 2 seconds. Thankfully, I've only got a small room and everything's within distance. So we're going to be using that, and we're also using the stitched all around stamp set for our sentiment. Hi Amanda, welcome. And the other reason why I'm jumping online is because I'm feeling a little bit miserable because I'm not registering for on stage today. So, but you know, these things happen. Teenagers grow up and they have exams at the wrong time of the year. So unfortunately, it doesn't always work out the way you want it to go. And I have a feeling it's going to be that way for the next couple of years. I'm just setting myself up. I'll just swip around so I know that I'm just on my iPad. Sorry. Going to mute myself, otherwise I'll get all that stuff and then I get too close to the camera. Okay, let us swing around and get colouring, because I was going to pre-colour and I haven't. So I don't know whether I'll colour in the whole lot, but let's swing around. So I'll put my finger over here and switch the camera around. There we go, look at that. Because I said last time I was on here, you know, I'll try not to wriggle the camera around so much so that no one gets motion sickness. And then, you know, I was adjusting the camera the whole time and I was like, oh gosh, I even had motion sickness. Hello everyone coming in. We are watercolouring today. So I'm going to try and pull in close. Excuse all my, I don't like to get a fresh sheet every time. So that is why it's messy. Okay, now we're really zoomed in. Okay, so this is the image from, let me get my shiz together because it's not, so this is the image, the leaf image. So you've probably seen this stamp set. Only available, what's the date today? 14th, so what have we got? Is that 16 days left? Oh, now my screen's too big. We've only got 16 days left that you can order this. It does come also with a, can I pan that? With a die set, which is pretty cool. We won't be using the die set, but we are using the stamp set. Well, I'm glad you get to go, Amanda, because it was a hoot last time. Okay, so that's what we're using. Now I have got watercolour paper, and I am going to be using Mango Melody and Merry Merlot, just for something a little bit different. There are a couple of colours that I haven't used before. I hope I'm not buffering. Now I'm going to be using, normally I will only use one aqua painter, but I'm going to use an aqua painter for each of them. Okay, so let's do the old squeezy, because I need to get re-inkers for these and I haven't done that yet. So we'll squeeze our ink pads together. Now I was going to do some colouring on this already, but I might just do half of it and then I'll go back and try and finish off the rest of my card later. Okay, starting with the Merry Merlot. Got my rag beside me. I'm going to pick up a little bit of the ink, but my nib's gone a little bit bizarre too. Now when I tried this the other night, it's a little bit different to what I normally do. So I'm actually squeezing my barrel just a little bit, and sometimes a little drip of water comes out, and then I can, I should say, I have stamped and embossed in black. Okay, well actually I've stamped black and embossed in clear. Okay, so that's quite wet. And then the next thing I want to do is get rid of that lid, get rid of this one, pick up my second aqua painter and pick up a bit of the Merry Merlot. And because that's really, really quite wet, I can just touch, that into the wetness. Is that a word? And it will flood out and blend. Okay, like that. And then I can come back in with my mango and just sort of mush that around a little bit. Get that flow going. Okay, so the only thing that you have to be careful of when you do this is to not stick your hand in your wetness. Okay, and then you can bring in your Merry Merlot again to deepen that up. And then the best thing, whoop, my thing's rolling around. The best thing to do is to just let that dry naturally. Okay, so pick up another bit, squeeze your aqua painter ever so slightly to get a little bit of watery flow going on. So it doesn't, you don't have to be real precise. The embossed should hold that. Hey Laura, should be holding that. I've probably chosen a wrong time to come on because everyone's probably registering. So you can see that. I can touch that and get that little bit of colour going on. Can you guys see? I need to shift. A little bit like that. Actually, I'm probably not going to get to finish this card because it'll be too wet. It'll need drying. That was a bit silly. I'll have to just show you my other card and what we did. So you can pick up a little bit more of your mango and spread that around a bit. Good morning, Michelle. Okay, so I'll come around and do another little leaf. And the great thing is that as these dry, you can actually go back and add more if you want. Okay, so again, and because this is only a small leaf, I just sort of don't want to, don't want to add too much water, she says, as a big drip falls out. So I'll just pick that up a little bit. So just a little squeeze. Sometimes it's hard, but you do want that little bit of water. So this is quite a, I mean, normally I'll paint with quite a dry brush, but with this one, it's a very wet, watery thing. But it's great because all the colours bleed together and you don't have to do anything. I mean, look at that. All the colours are bleeding and settling in together and you get that really autumn look. So it's very much fun. Okay, whoops, squeeze ever so slightly. Ever so slightly and get more water than what you need. So, okay, I have a little bit of a giveaway today. I didn't come on and chat a whole lot. Now see, I would like a little bit more water on that side. So remind me that I have a little giveaway before we go away because I need to show you what that's all about as well. Hello, people coming in. Okay, so again, just squeeze ever so gently so that you've got a little bit of water out and let it all flood together. That's pretty cool, actually. Actually, I need to do those stems on them in brown. Merlot. A couple of colours that I haven't used before. Okay, so there's a fair bit of that colour going on, so I'm just going to bring back the mango and just spread them out a little bit, blend them together. And that's how you get these looks. It's a bit wet, you can't quite see what's going on, but as they dry, because like the screen is quite glossy, so and I don't want to pick them up and move them around too much, I just want them to settle into the paper and dry. So that's how you do this colouring. Very simple, very easy. So squeeze. I think the trickiest thing is trying not to squeeze out too much water. Although I find that the ones that do have a fair bit of water on them actually settle into the paper nice when they've dried. Thanks, Jennifer. Oops. And when you're taking, I'm taking ink from here and it's getting quite watery, but you really do need quite a concentrated bit of ink. See how that's not blending? Wait a minute, I gotta squeeze my ink pad again. So that'll be better now that I've got all of that deep. Yeah, pick up a bit. Okay, blend it in. Okay, so this is watercolor paper that we're working on, Laura. And it's been embossed so that I've got a black outline. And that way the water sort of gets contained within those areas. Okay, so I'm not going to go and do the whole lot because I'll probably bore you to tears. And I can't actually finish my card because it's wet and I didn't even think about that. So I'm going to allow that to dry and I'm going to show you some other elements of the card that I did so that when everything is dry I can finish everything off properly. I'm just going to clean these because I know that if I don't, they will stay like that. Okay, so this is the card that I have made the other day. I'm just going to pop that somewhere where I'm not going to touch it again. So on here, and I did pop a little thing on my Facebook page saying that you can emboss coloured images. So I'm going to show you that now. You will need the Stamparatus, and because I am using a rubber stamp, I don't require the black layer, the black foam. So I'm using the Stitched All Around and a thank you. And I've got a strip of paper here, just some scrap paper. Okay, so I put my thank you down. I need to leave a little bit of room so that I can cut it out with a framelit because this one has matching framelits. Attach that to the, I think I might have to pull out again. Yes, zoom out, definitely. I forget that. There we go. There we go. I do forget these things sometimes. Thank you, Amanda, for reminding me. Okay, so I'm going to ink up in Merry Merlot. I keep going to open these ink pads the old way. Okay. Ink it up nicely and stamp. Okay, so that's given me my image. Then what I need to do is, without removing that from my plate, I'm just going to clean it with my chamois. And seriously, I cannot rave on about these chamois enough. If you haven't got one, you gotta get one. They're the best. I keep mine in one of those stamp storage containers, and I think the last time I wet that was last week and it's still going nice and damp. Okay, what am I doing next? My Versamark. So don't shift anything. Don't shift your shift your stamp. Then you need to ink it up in Versamark, and you can, oh crike, hang on, I've done something else that's wrong. Hang on 2 seconds. I have my white embossing powder out and not my clear one. Okay, so now we've stamped in Versamark, and now we can emboss it. So pop your clear over the top. My clear is lovely tainted with glitter because that stuff gets everywhere, don't you think? Okay, get you out of the way. Now, I don't know whether my thing will reach Oh yeah. So then you just heat emboss it. And voila! You have coloured embossing now. Check that out. So you can do that with any of our colours of ink pads. So if you haven't stocked up on the new colours, now is the time to do it, because now you can emboss. Get Stamparatus, get some ink pads, and away you go. So I've done that, and I've cut out, I went and cut that out earlier. See, I was a little bit prepared, but just didn't think too much, did I? I love that, Shani and Michelle. So these are the stamps that the cutouts that go along with that stamp set that I just had, and it's a double-sided one. So I had so many swap cards that were using a lot of these shapes, and I was like, okay, I wasn't going to get it, but you know, now I have to. So I ended up with that. Now, so also on my card, you'll see that I've got some ribbon. And what I did with that is, check this ribbon out. This is from the Holiday Catalogue. It is so pretty. Let me stand up and show you a little bit. This is Merry Merlot and Copper. So on one side, it's just the flat Merry Merlot. And on the other side, it has got that shimmery copper running through it. It is so, so pretty. So what I did there, and I will cut all of this stuff and show you what I did, because then when I get around to finishing my card, I can. So I just snipped a bit off, and I cut one end off. So the seam that runs along the other side, I cut that off, and I pulled, probably not going to be able to do it with, yep, here we go. I pulled off some of those copper fibres, the threads that run the other way. Let's see if I can grab a chunk of them. There we go. I'm going to need to find something to do with the ones that I pull off though. Oops. Oops, oops. There we go. Anyway, and these all, you get little, like, I'm sure that you could bundle them and tie them together somehow if you had a lot more of them and make something out of them, but for the moment they're going in the bin because they're too short for anything. So all I did was that, and then I sort of just pulled it a little bit just to give it a little bit of a wrinkle thing going on, and that went, I stuck that behind my card, and a little bit of the lace trim as well. I'm not very good at layering things up like that, so I had a go, but it turned out pretty. But that ribbon is really, really pretty. So that'll be in the Holiday Catalogue. It is gorgeous. So yeah, I did something like that. So let me bring in the stuff that I'm colouring, because it's quite rich. It's turned out, it's still a little bit wet. I would actually have that dry overnight. So it was a bit silly of me thinking that I could actually make this card in a live situation. That was a bit daft. But so there's how to colour it, and there's the finished card. Now, I did say that I had a giveaway, so if you wish, you can comment, you can share. If you do share, just write that you've shared, because some people's settings are so that I can't see if you've shared. So let me just pack this stuff up. I will finish that card later. And my giveaway is a little bit different this time. It's not a product giveaway, it's a card kit giveaway. So I have 2 cards here to give away. And these card kits will create these 2 cards, and I will also email the instructions to you. So these are from, I run a monthly card making club, a subscription club. And these are the cards that we did this month. So if you want to comment, share, write down that you've shared, comment away, and I will draw 2 names randomly from the list, in Australia only please, because it's a little bit much to send overseas, so I can do it in Australia. And they're the 2 cards that you make. So that's my prize. that's my card, something a little bit different. And you guys have a great day. I've got a list of jobs to do and I'm determined I'm going to get through them. So I will see you all later. Thank you for watching. Next week, crossing fingers, it will be on a Monday. So have a great day. See ya.